What's up, everybody? We are back. We are off the crossbar. I am the Coach Pete Otner, and I'm here with my main man, the co-coach, Adam the Miz Mizell, and we are here in the bowels of a movie theater in Dundalk, safe from the gunfire of Baltimore City. I am downstairs watching Zootopia 2. I'm walking out. Guess who's walking in the parking lot of a movie theater in Dundalk?
Who is it?
None other than our guest, the legendary coach, Ms. Pete Caringi.
Wow, man, we're blessed. I'll tell you what. Blessed and thankful.
Blessed and thankful. Coach, what's going on?
Oh, it's great to be here, guys. I'm excited to be with you guys.
Ms., how was your Thanksgiving above and beyond this blessing?
Well, it was pretty good. We actually did family Thanksgiving last Saturday, so yesterday's was kind of uneventful. You know what I mean?
Right.
Had a little brunch, but other than that, we did the game last night. That was our Thanksgiving dinner, and it was ruined. Right? Yeah, it was. The weather was a little brisk. You know what I mean? A little brisk. I'm not built for. So I had to really bundle up. You know what I mean? But yeah, it was a good day, great day. Not such a good night with the result, but moving on, baby.
I'm not saying that game was as bad as like a prison rape, but it's definitely like more of a colonoscopy at best.
I'd liken it to like a root canal.
Yeah,
one of those.
You're not as big a fan as I am.
Yeah, that's true.
And of course, we have on the wheels of steel doing the ones and twos, the super producer, Finny. What's going on, brother?
How are you guys?
Awesome.
I'm so blown away that you guys got this amazing guest today.
It wasn't even planned. He was out in the parking lot.
You know what's crazy is I've written him a letter for 6 months asking him to come here. I don't know if it's because of the letters or you guys that he was here today. I'm just so happy. And as far as the game last night, if you're going to like refer it to something, it was like watching Deliverance. That's what that movie, that's what that show was like last night.
It was bad. It was bad. Coach, what is going on?
Well, it's great to be here with you guys, Pete. Day after I couldn't sleep last night because I was, one, going to be on the show. I was so excited to be with you and Adam. And then two, to watch that Raven game last night. Pete, I'm still recovering from it. I mean, I want to go to the press conference today, but I can't.
Could you imagine you in that press conference?
No,
because you don't.
I imagined that. Yeah,
you don't mince words, and
No.
and in the interview, I am pretty sure like somebody would get the wrath.
I mean, when it comes to press conferences, look, I'm a fan of Harbaugh. I appreciate what he's done, but like, you already know what he's going to say in every press conference. It could be the worst outing we've ever had. It could be the best outing ever. And every press conference is going to be like, he's like Captain Obvious. We got to tackle better. Oh, no kidding. We got to stop their guys. No kidding. We have to make plays offensively. No kidding. You know what I mean? He never gets into the meat and potatoes of what's wrong or right.
See, and one of the things I loved playing for him is you could have a bad first half, and then that halftime talk, you were coming out a different human being,
Sure.
Whether out of inspiration, which was on his good moments, or straight up fear, which not so good moments. But would you agree with that? Like second half, your teams, if they have a bad first half, they're coming out and it's a different world.
Speaking of which, did you see this this thing in football? There's like this myth of the halftime adjustment, where they're saying there's no halftime adjustments. It's basically snack time. The guys go in, they eat snacks, they come back out and keep playing. There's no like, hey, in this half, we're going to do this, and that, or whatever.
Hey, guys, I was privy enough. I have a friend that was in the locker room one time at halftime, and he's exactly right. No one said a word. Couple players walked through the locker room like, come on, we got to do something. This ain't right, and blah, blah, blah. Coach, I never saw Coach. I mean, the guy that was there.
Did you
never
see
saw
anybody eating snacks?
Yeah, they ate a lot of like apples, oranges, like fruit bars, things like that. They're chowing.
Do they make the orange things so that, like, are they peeled like sliced so they can make the teeth like a mouthpiece?
Dude, they don't even peel them. They just bite them like an apple. They're a different breed, bro.
Hey, I mean, whatever works.
Did you always feel like you could turn a game around by talking at halftime?
Yeah, I did, actually, to be honest with you. I felt like I could go in there and get things changed for sure, especially if I was unhappy with the first half. There was a lot of times the second half was much better than the first half.
Is there any one event any one halftime that stands out?
There's a lot. There was one up with Essex. We were playing against New York,
right?
Long Island, and it's a real big game because we just went out flat. A couple, I don't want to mention their names. They're local guys, obviously. They were late for the meeting, and they thought, and I sat them down and benched them, and they were big players.
I looking at when he said that, I'm like, it's not me.
I sat them down, and then we were losing 3-0 at halftime.
Oh my gosh!
And I got all over them, and to this day, they remember. When I see them, they still remember to a T. And they played the second half unbelievable. We won 4-3.
That's wild.
And
I was at that game, Pete.
Yeah.
I really was. It was better than when Liverpool came back halftime down 3 and won the Champions League.
Finney,
I don't know if you remember that.
Finney, longtime Baltimore soccer fan.
Yeah, I remember Finney when he played back in the day.
It was at 4 games I played, and then I got bored because I didn't know that you couldn't have 2 penises. I didn't know that was the thing.
Well, you shouldn't have carried the one in your hand.
That was the problem.
Finney's the only guy in history that had season tickets to CCBC Essex games, right? And he went on the road too. He traveled all over
see
the country.
Finney at one of the team parties.
He bought a PSL.
He just paid it off, right?
Finally.
By the way, it's funny we have this bar here. So last week's show, when Finney's talking, you're like looking down. It looks like you're with the hat. It looks like you're the guy in the bucket, in the lookout bucket for the Titanic, looking for the iceberg. Right. He's like this. It's great. I love it.
Oh man, that's awesome.
Coach, are you ready? Are you ready for the mystery question of the week?
I am so ready.
All right, Coach. Every house that I've ever been in has one. And ours, it changes by the month. Sometimes it's certain things. Sometimes it's other things. And if you tell me you don't have one, it's going to ruin the mystery question of the day. But every house has a junk drawer. Okay? Well, if I walk into the Eibner family estate, what are the contents of that junk drawer?
Well,
do you have a junk drawer?
We have a junk drawer.
Okay.
So one of them has been relegated to just my crap.
Okay.
Because I donate so much to the junk drawer. So which one do you want to talk about?
I'm talking the main universal one that's open and available to anyone in the house.
Okay.
Normally in the kitchen.
It is in the kitchen. It's almost like you've been there. That is amazing.
Could have been.
So here's my junk drawer. You got your standard scissors.
Okay.
You got some paper clips. Right? You got more paper clips than anyone ever needs. You got envelopes and stamps. You got pens and highlighters. You have, I swear, you have hair things like the little hair ties.
Okay.
From my daughter from when she was a kid.
Okay.
Right? She's 25.
Love it.
Right? You have, I'm trying to think what other crap you have. There's a little wicker basket, like it's tiny, right? And we got this little wicker basket at our honeymoon in Jamaica, and there's a whole shitload of coins in there, but it's mainly pennies. So I think there's like probably $2 worth of pennies, but it's a ton of coins.
How often does the junk drawer get cleaned out?
Apparently not often, because it's got, I don't know if you heard about the aforementioned hair tie for my daughter when she was a kid, and the wicker basket full of pennies, which, by the way, are not even being produced anymore.
So if I go in your junk drawer, you're telling me it's basically a Staples with a Staples store, full stationery with a few other odds and ends.
Yeah, there may be like some bank statements from who knows when.
Well, paperwork. I like that.
There's definitely stuff in there. Coach, what you got cooking in yours?
I'll just repeat what Pete said. Literally repeat. I have everything that he had in my drawer. My junk drawer, but I got one junk drawer downstairs and I got another one up in my room.
Okay.
So because I got so much junk throughout the years.
Junk man. Finney, junk man or no? Junk drawer?
Listen to me. My junk drawer has another junk drawer
Sounds
in
like
it.
he's saying drunk
Here-
drawer.
I know, because you almost have to be drunk to listen to this story. I had a junk drawer in my bedroom because I come home, I empty my pockets right away, and a lot of times I got junk, I just throw it in there, and it was a small little thing. Then I have one in the kitchen, and I'm like, I'm getting rid of this one in my bedroom, and I brought it down to clean it out. I just was like, screw it. I stuck the whole smaller drawer in the bigger drawer. So now when you open my junk drawer, it's covered with junk, and in the middle is another junk drawer that was
That's
from the
awesome.
old dresser.
And-
By the way, I could open a pro shop. There are 4,000 golf tees, ball markers. Like, it's unreal. Like divot tools. I got tons of that stuff in there. I have pens, but here's the real embarrassing thing okay. I've always tried to be a businessman, and I'm terrible at it. But somebody told me you got to save receipts. I have receipts in this drawer that are 15 years old. That's my life.
Just in case you get audited.
I was going to
It's
say,
coming. I know it one day. I have so many receipts. None of them are organized. You pick, I'm telling you, the pot, like if you grab the stack, it would be 8 inches thick. And like you go through them, it's anywhere from 2016 to yesterday. That's my junk drawer.
You go through Finney's junk drawer. What did I buy at Kresge's in '94? You know? I spent $64.
Did you hear him describing like the pro shop, like what it's like?
Yeah.
It sounded like Rodney Dangerfield when
Yeah.
he's like, give me 2 of those naked lady tees, some of those golf balls, give me 5 of those, 6 of those. You know, oh, look at that hat. That's the worst hat I ever saw.
Yeah, it's total chaos.
Love the
Total
junk
chaos.
drawer. I mean, mine is basically pens, scissors, the long stem lighters for candles.
Yeah,
you know?
mine. That's
Have
yeah.
those in there. We got some like different old chargers for the phones, the portable ones that you get, free ones. You throw them in there. They don't work anyway. Charging cables, charging cords, things like that for, the 25 different model of phone we have rolling around the house and iPads and whatever. But other than that, it's pretty boring. Not much going on, but I just, we go through and clean it probably once every 4 or 5 months. And it's just amazing how it just piles up all the time. It's crazy.
He used to have one at his office at both Essex and UMBC, and it was filled with second place trophies. He didn't even put his second place stuff up. He would just have this championship.
Hide them in the junk drawer.
Use them as a doorstop.
I love that. I'm surprised he doesn't have like tactical sheets, from all the games piled in there,
Wait a minute, Finney.
Yeah.
It wasn't that many second place trophies. I don't know what he's
Yeah, I don't know. I remember I saw a third place one time,
Oh,
but
no.
it was at your neighbor's house, not at you.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for answering the Mizztery question of the week, guys. Coach, thank you so much for your input.
Thank you.
Vinny as well. Take it out. Coach, coming out of the great Mizztery question with this fabulous guest we have in today. Hot topic. We were going to go over this a few weeks ago. We said, you know what? Let's curb it just for the right time. I feel like today, Black Friday, a lot of people shopping. We have 2 guys in here that are definitely not shoppers, right? Aside from us. But I want to touch on this phenomenon that it's been, right? And it just aggravates the crap out of me as a coach. I don't do it because every time I do it and I instruct players to do it, it always comes back to bite me.
Right.
So I want to know where you stand, and I want to know where you stand on time wasting.
As a coach.
As a coach, as a player, it's natural. You're going to do it no matter what the coach says. He's over there. He can't affect the game. He can't come run on the field and play. So you're going to, magically waste time. But as a coach, how do you, what do you feel about when you see your team taking it in the corner and stand on it, or whacking it out of bounds 400 yards when they only had to touch it out of bounds 5 feet? What do you think?
All right. So I think there's part of it that's game management, which requires soccer IQ.
Okay.
All right. And I'll give you one quick example. I remember Perry Hall Delaney 2011. This was the infamous Bernie game. We scored with like a minute left.
Okay.
And Delaney started the ball off. Now, this is the Jerry Tanna days. Do you remember those?
Of course.
Did not have a kid running the sidelines. There was no ball boy. So the game starts. There's a minute left. We're up in that little tiny like football field with the real narrow track around it. Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah.
So do you remember Ethan Muller?
Yes.
Ethan Muller's
Tall guy wore the headgear, right?
Correct.
Yep.
He was our right back. He's the guy that scored on the header. The ball came to him. There's a minute left. He took it and drilled it like as far as he could out of bounds. They didn't have another ball kid, so they had to go retrieve the ball. By the time they got back, the game's over. The kids are dancing. They celebrate. The rest is history. So that, to me, is soccer IQ. You get a ball. If you're up by a goal, 2 minutes left, you're in the offensive corner, step on the ball, make them kick it out of bounds. Love that. That's game management. The thing that I can't stand is 30 minutes left. You're down by a goal, and the coach on the other side in a high school game is subbing every single time the ball gets out of bounds, which stops the flow of the game. It cuts the momentum. It wastes time. It's deliberate and intentional, and that part's ugly. But as far as, you get hit a little bit and you're slow getting up to eat a couple seconds, all those seconds matter. And I think that's game management when it's like, there's like, and I don't even know what the line is, Miz. It's a blurry,
right?
For sure. But there's game management, and then it's like unsportsmanlike time wasting. And I don't know where that line is. I know it when it goes against me.
Coach?
He's a tough act to follow, but clearly there is a part of time management that's important in any one practice. If you have a high school team or college, fortunately in college we didn't have mass substitution like he's talking about, but clearly you can have players. I'm a big believer in, while you're on the field, you should know the situation. We're up a goal, we're down a goal. We need to step it up a bit. What I can't stand is when a team is winning a game 1-0 and they don't know how to manage the clock. And I'm not talking about just out and out stolen, but I'm talking about there's a lot of little things you can do and in preparing your team. Just be a smarter player in any sport. I'm not only talking soccer. You have to know how to handle that clock. And we watch football, we watch basketball, and soccer players have to understand how much time's left. If they're down, to go forward. I did a lot of games this year on TV as a color commentator, and even at the college level, it's amazing how college players can't manage the clock. They're up. They don't know how to kill the game. On the other hand, they're down a goal and send players forward, try to score. They're just in the same routine. So I'm a big believer in that. And I think the longer you've been coaching, the better off you'll be at that, knowing how to handle the clock.
So how do you navigate this? How do you navigate when you're in a game as a coach, right? And we've all seen this. The other team will call him Joe's Deli, right? Joe's Deli has a player. They're up 1-0. We're inside 10 minutes, say. We're 9:49 left.
Right.
This kid has already went down 3 times in the match. So now he's got cramps. He gets bumped. He goes down. He's holding his knee. He's holding his leg. At this point, you're relying on the officials, right? Yeah. And we all know that, not often do we get officials where they can manage this and govern this kind of thing, because they're like, oh, well, he must be hurt or he must have a cramp. And they'll come in and stop the clock. However, that 10 seconds, 15 seconds that it takes for them to identify, okay, now this is a clock stopping minute, they've just eaten 15 more seconds. Right, and then he does it again, another 15, another 15. So what do we do at that point?
Well, my opinion, that's not a coaching thing, and that's not even a player. That's game management on that player's part.
Sure.
But it's an official, and that's a whole nother topic of how many officials are there that don't recognize it because they never played the game, or they were never coached in the game, or they don't really know. They don't know how to identify or interpret the events of what's going on. And I see that all the time.
Yeah. Coach?
Well, that's it. I mean, if you're out there and you're coaching and the other team is stalling, for lack of a better word, I mean, you have to be able to give them a little bit of credit, because one, they're absolutely looking at the clock and trying to get seconds, which add into minutes, which add into winning the game. And I think, unless the referee is that young or he doesn't really understand what they're doing, then you're in trouble. And at that level, at certain levels, you shouldn't, high school, college, you shouldn't have a referee that's not aware that they are absolutely stalling while you're out there, and have better control of the clock for sure.
He's raising his hand like he's in third grade. Has to pee. Go ahead.
I've never been in front of three, and this is sincere, really, really great coaches that understand the game. I have a legit question. First, I want to tell you this quick thing that lead the question. I saw Roy Keane recently in an interview talking about how if a team has a great captain, it makes coaching much easier during the game. Have either of you, or all three of you, ever had a captain that was so strong that you could kind of sit back and let him kind of manage time, tempo a little bit? Have you ever coached a kid that good where you could go, all right, I'm going to let him run this field right now? Any of you?
Hey, Coach, I'll let you bang this one out
Well,
first.
I think our Final Four team in the NCAA, Mamadou Kansai, was a great captain. There was things me and him were on the same wavelength while he was out there. We trained, we worked on things. So when in the game, and that's the beauty of having a really good team and a great captain, he's out there doing things that you've worked on or talked about.
Yeah.
At the younger level, it's probably not as,
conducive.
I went to watch Coach Pete Ivner's high school team this year. They played well, but there wasn't that one player out there that I would have said Coach Ivner had an impact on him as far as, and Pete has done a tremendous job with these guys, but he had a better.
You can
impact.
say it.
No.
You can say it about that.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. It's supposed to be a funny show, but I'm not going to say it. I'm here now. Pete's getting me serious now. He's got me behind a microphone.
Do you guys think, because you all played at a high level as well, do you think there's a part of a great team when you have a great captain, players can almost follow a great captain easier than a coach or a manager simply because of the psychological impact of feeling being put down or something if a coach is yelling at you from the sideline? But if another teammate's like, hey man, what are you doing? You got to cover this. Like, does it affect a player differently as well coming from a captain as opposed to your coach screaming from the side?
Well, I think it's like anything else. It's like a chain of command. Your coach is, and I can say this, my playing days, all the authority right there. But what he would do is he would get the captains of the team to just reiterate what he's saying. And then it would be like everyone else would follow. And things generally went right. And that's the model I try to do. I try to have 3 or 4 captains who can just lead. Some of them are vocal. Some of them are by action. Some of them are just like older, senior, cooler kids that people will follow. And you get that coach that leads, the buy-in from the captains. And when the captains have that buy-in and there's no dissonance, players follow. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, and I always say this it's just a guy told me this years and years ago, and it stuck with me as a coach. Like when I started getting to coach in the late 90s, in our game, the coach is like the least impactful person if you compare it to any other sport. We can't call timeouts and we can't run plays. And so you're putting 11 guys out there, which is a lot of players. Like if you're doing basketball and you take the timeouts away, but you still only have 5, right? So you can control that a little bit more. This is 11 guys where, football has 11 and the coach is calling the plays and this coach is coaching this guy and everybody knows what to do and they all have their own coach. Whereas we have 1, 2, 3 maybe guys, and we can't get on the field. We can't call time. Well, you can call timeout some places now, but we can't call timeouts and and press the button and reset things and whatever. I mean, we have to do it in game while it's going on. And there's things we can do, but by and large, we're no impact, on the field. It ain't like we can throw a uniform on and run out there and make a play,
Yeah.
So we're relying on guys like you're talking about to get your message and put it forth to the other group. And hopefully everybody follows and executes. But the guys you're talking about, the Mamadous and those guys nowadays, and for whatever reason, call it society as a whole, but those guys are few and far between, right? So now it's a lot of the same player. Good skills, works hard, quiet. Good skills, works hard, low energy, right?
Yeah.
Or it's a lot of these guys where you're really struggling to find a guy that's an absolute killer assassin, leader with his voice, leader with his work rate and his skills. And they're hard to find. I mean, it just is.
Yeah, but I'll tell you, as this shifts to back to the original, which was clock management, or if you want to call it time wasting, depending how you look at it. I once played and coached with a coach who had a system, and it was great, and I loved it when he did it. So he would not rehearse, but he would encourage the ball boys to read the room, read the game. And like, if we're up by a goal and there's 10 minutes left, you don't have to be the fastest kid getting the ball back out on the field. Another one, like, if a ball's rolling out of bounds, he would go, I got it. And he would go to settle it and just maybe not reach his leg enough. And the ball would go by and it would eat up 5 seconds here and there.
When that coach was down, then he changed the ball boys.
Yeah, I know that.
I put the track team on the sideline, and they were doing
Usain Bolt's now running balls.
They were doing sprints down the sideline, catching the ball, and then the baseball players would throw the ball in. So
same coach fired a ball boy.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever seen the Mourinho clip where the ball boy they're coming down and they're in the the far end or close end of the goal, and ball goes out of bounds, and these Man United players are flying, and the ball goes flying, and the ball boy comes in, like, dives to give him the ball, and he throws it so fast that the other player just blew by the defense, stopping for the throw.
Right.
And Mourinho came over and hugged the ball boy and gave him a high five. And then at the press conference after, somebody asked Mourinho, who do you think stood out today on the pitch? And he said, whoever that ball boy is my player of the game.
Yeah, but that's part of the game. I mean, now, again, it's not the endless cycle of substitution. It's not the faking of an injury, but it's reading the room, reading the game. And that is a weapon. Yeah. Just like if you have a solid organized defense, having the wherewithal to manage the game, that's a weapon.
Where are you at with the slow roller that Grandma Edna hit at the goalkeeper from probably 40 out? It rolls to the keeper. He's got to get it and fall. Check his socks. Yeah, check them. Readjust the gloves. Bounces it 47 times, and then has it. That's brilliant, right?
Not this past high school season, but this season before, our goalkeeper would do that unnecessarily. The game would be like in hand, and he would be like, he'd have the ball. It would be a slow roller, and all of a sudden he's falling on it like it's a fumble in the NFL. and it was so, like, I didn't love it. I understood what he was doing. Wasn't always appropriate. But it affected him. Like, people got pissed off and like at him, and
it's like a little bit of an art to it.
Yeah, and it's like, I remember one time because he would wait, he would get the ball, have it at his feet, and wait till an attacking player ran in. And at one time, one of my assistant coaches go, one of these days, somebody's just going to haul off and kick the snot out of him.
Oh wow!
And because it was like that, and yeah, that's part of the game.
Yeah,
if it's not a good thing to do, change the rule.
One of the best I've ever seen, and I think it was the World Cup. It might have been 2 World Cups ago, but it was Courtois. He is the goalkeeper for Belgium, big, tall dude. Well, someone played a ball in, it goes out, easily for a goal kick. It bounces over the banner thing, and he's like, whatever. He's looking for the ball boy. Well, the ball boy, throws the ball in, and it wasn't right to him.
Right.
So it bounces like 2 feet away from him. He just lets it bounce over the banner.
Like, here's a guy that can stop anything. Right. He can't stop that. He can't react quickly enough to stop the ball boy's
and the commentator's like, Courtois, more time wasting here. It was great.
Yeah, but you guys are talking about the highest level, and then you're talking about high school. So it's a big difference there. Courtois, wherever the guy, his cousin works down on Conklin Street. That's at a different level, and obviously everything they do there starts from the coach. we have too many coaches nowadays. I go watch high school games like yours, and I see some coaches, not you, but just coaches in general that aren't saying anything to their players.
Right.
Right. And they're just sitting there because they're following the pro coaches who normally just sit there with their legs folded, and they're not barking out any instructions, where they're the ones that should be talking to their captains.
Absolutely.
And instructing them for the flow of the game, rather than what I see now is too many people are watching the pros coaches and just sitting there, arms folded, and think they're all
I think it's the same problem with the players too, not just the coaches.
Exactly.
They're training kids like the pros play.
Exactly.
And an all craziest thing just came into my head when you guys were talking. I'm probably 12 or 13. Pep Perella is our coach.
Right.
And halftime one game, I'm in goal, and he comes up to me. He says, "Mickey, listen, when you get the ball, take your time. Take your time. Take your time." I didn't know what he meant. I'm like, I don't, all right. So ball comes at me early in the second half. I pick it up, punt it right away. And he just starts screaming at me. "Is that taking your time? Is that And then I'm like, oh, hold the ball for a minute.
Right.
I almost got red carded. I held it so long the next time. The ref was screaming at me. "Are you going to kick it?" I'm looking at Pep. Now, like, yeah. And then they start counting and everything else. But Pete's right. I mean, if you train kids like they're pros, they'll never learn to be pros or how to be pros. I think same with coaching.
Look, I'll give you another example. Like with the coaching, and this is another detour. You're talking about coaches giving instruction. I've listened to coaches give the absolute wrong instruction because they hear it from other coaches and they don't know, so they try to apply it. I'll give you my number one example. If I'm coaching against it, I just feel like going over to the other sideline going, "Look, that's not what you say." Right? And it's
coaching the coach.
Yes. It's like there's two words and it drives me up a wall. And I'll hear other coaches say it. And let's say we're up, right? 2-0, 20 minutes left in the game. The other team gets the ball, right? They now are the clocks of important. Getting the ball forward is important. Sure. And you'll hear the coach go, "Keep it.
Settle down.
Keep it."
Oh,
well, keep it all day. I tell you what, knock it to your back line and keep it. Show me how well you can possess, because if you're 80 yards keeping possession from my goal, I probably don't have to worry about scoring.
Right.
They say keep it when there's no reason, when keep it's not the objective. It might be, we got 4 minutes left. Keep it forward. Bang it. Play ugly if you have to.
Yeah, sometimes that may just mean, don't unforcibly give it away. You know what I mean? Like an unforced error in tennis. You know what I mean? And kids have a real problem just giving away possession, right? So
yeah, but
maybe that's the message. But I know what you're saying. Keep it. Look, there's no high school team, I don't care who it is, that's going to keep it like Barcelona, where they're knocking around with Xavi and Iniesta.
Right.
That's not going to happen.
Even at club level, I've watched MLS Next games and academy games where you see that, because they all play the same. They all want to play the same system, and it's almost like they pigeonhole a style of play regardless of the situation. Sure. Coach, what do you think?
I agree, because I've seen this year, and obviously it's you can take away more when you're not coaching, but being on the sideline at a college game, Division I game at a high level, and watching teams not really know how to handle the clock, being down a goal with 7 minutes to go and not picking the pace up. Like you said, keep it. You don't need to. You can keep it, but the intent is you got to go forward. You got to try to score. And so much time is being wasted by teams and / coaches not really knowing what they're doing, right? The clock's running, you're down a goal. And for me, and you've been part of it, man, every second is precious. And I think people don't understand that. They don't teach it. And once again, it goes back to any sport. The longer you can waste time when you're winning, the better off you're going to be. And on the opposite end of that, it doesn't start because too many colleges now are looking at the last 5 minutes as, "Oh, come on, now we got to go." Well, maybe it might be too late then.
Yeah.
Maybe you could have done it at the 15-minute mark and try to get the goal and gain a little momentum. So it really is the coach has the mentality and it filters down to the team, but a lot of them aren't being taught that for sure.
You know what's cool about him? We used to practice.
Vest?
Yeah, the vest is out of this world. It's kind of like the Han Solo look for
Stylish
coaching.
guy,
I
right?
bought this for this.
For this occasion.
Yeah. They used to have a guy that worked in this guy named Mickey Coachella. He worked in this place.
Right.
Does he still do his show at night? Because I was on his show and I got so many people called me about what I wore.
About the vest?
Everything I wore. It's like it was almost a vest with like a nice sports jacket and all that.
Well, you're very stylish.
Well, I didn't want to talk about style on this. I didn't want to mention that guy's name. When I did his show in this particular room, it was phenomenal. I mean, we had people outside waiting for me when I was coming.
Well, I hope you have a repeat experience, but I haven't seen that guy because Finney.
Yeah.
You ever seen anybody?
I
named Mickey?
hate that guy. When I took this studio over, I threw him out of here.
Oh,
Hey guys, and real quick, as far as coaching goes and players, when you're talking about time management and that stuff, are there certain guys every team has that you bark orders at to kind of like field generals? Or are there times where you're just left alone out there? Have you always had a kid you could yell at from the sideline that could get other kids going each season? Or is that kind of a rare thing that comes along, and when you grab it, you love it?
I think you can. I think there's players out on the field that you can find and through training that is going to take your thinking and use it on the field. That's the smart players. That's the really good player, right?
Yeah.
And then there's the other players who might have all the skill in the world, but can't think the game out at all. So there's a fine line. But yeah, I mean, we've all had them. I'm sure we all had them. And obviously, the younger you are, it's the less you're going to understand it more, because you can sit there and say, let's stall a little bit here. And a young player, it's not going to. One, they're not going to like it, because if he's real young, he just wants to play. All they want to do is run around and play. And the older player now in college or high school, they have to understand that, or else they're not going to play anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, I just like I envy what you guys do, because I love the game so much, and I love the intricacies of it. But I always wonder that year to year, are you always searching for that kid, or do you see it coming down the pipeline, or do you have to build it?
See, I have trouble building it, but when I get the guys I can connect with, it again circles all the way back to that chain of command thing, where you have just guys that you can connect with, you can tell them what you want. They're going to not only do it, but they're going to lead the others to it. You had like 3 or 4 guys in not this season, but 2 years ago, where it was like, these guys are all on the same page. They're all inspiring the other guys. And it's almost like they made the players around them better.
Sure. And it was a team of 15 seniors, right? So when you have that, and at the high school level, it's a different world than the club level. Like the club, you can probably build that. You're with those guys more, right? And you're with them for longer. We're with them for 3 months.
Right.
So we have 2 weeks of training. Bang. You got to formulate your team. You got to figure things out. You start playing games, and then you make, okay, well, I had this wrong. I had that wrong. And then you make adjustments and try to put the best possible formula together to make the great stew. And it doesn't always happen, but
you know, the cool thing about club is you start with kids at a young age.
Sure. And
you have those kids sometimes multiple years from the time they're like 9 to like 16, 17. And there was a kid that I had, he ended up winning a national championship with Syracuse, Mihal Gratis. And Mihal was the kind of kid you could tell him what you wanted, and he would kind of lead, and everybody would follow. And when he was playing for me, we were remarkably successful at the club level. And it was cool to have a kid that young lead so well.
It's funny you mentioned that. We talk about this all the time, and we're glad you're here today. But when, you know, and I know you're removed now, but even if, say, Anthony and your son and Quantrell called you up and said, hey, coach, we're all out. We quit today. So you have to come back and coach the team, right? So your first order of business is recruiting, right? It's a huge part of what you're doing. And you're going out to the fields. What are you looking for in players?
Well, the first order of business would be bring the players that are coming back in and meet with them, because ironically, we're talking about players who had an impact Pete here, Coach Pete Eibner, along with Jason Dieter, were two players who had a big impact at UMBC when they first went there because they were with me at Essex Community College. We went to the national championship, and they knew how I wanted. They were some of the leaders, the captains over there. So ironically, both of them are at UMBC. So the adjustment for me at UMBC, having them there, and the adjustment for the players that were already there was, wow, this is not how it used to be. And that's no criticism to the prior coaches or anybody, but this is the way he does it. So it was easier for me to get my point across because those guys already knew how to do it. And if they had to run extra or something, if there was punishment, they were the first ones to do it, other than when he came late.
I knew that would come up.
Which was a lot because he had a car with no front seat lock, no stereo system.
No.
This show is not that long. About that.
Hold on.
And Dieter's somewhere right now, probably pulling over on the side of the road. So I'd say let's drop that. I didn't come here. I just praised him. I'm not here to rip him.
Coach, we talked about this. I swear, last week we talked about me buying a car from a hot woman at the dealership, and it was a stick shift, and I was late to practice the first day of my senior year.
Yeah, he told me he bought it for $30 down a Little Flower.
I couldn't drive a stick, and we're late, and he didn't say a word. And Jason and I thought we got away with it. It's 105 degrees.
Oh, wow.
And after he's like, Eibner, Dieter, on the line, and it was like, oh, he noticed. Like, how did he not notice? We were like,
did you tell him the girl was hot?
I did.
No impact, Coach?
Little impact.
He was happy for Pete as he ran his 400 laps that he met a pretty girl.
But in all, like today's high school player coming out of high school, right? Like we're talking about like a scouting report of what should that player be focused on doing to where they shine under eyes like yourself or any other college coach today? Like, what are the things that you're looking for if you go watch a club game per se? Are you looking body language? Are you looking for IQ or a little bit of all of it?
Well, I think you're looking for attitude. I mean, there's a lot of little things that you can look at and that as you're looking for players. So attitude, work rate, mentality, skill level. I mean, it's so many different variables that's going to make a great player. How young they are, how as foolish as it's going to sound, the background is with their parents. Are they really overactive into the team and overactive into him? Because eventually that gets to the college level now, which it never used to. So there's so many different things you look at in a player. But if you're going to take over a program, you want players who have basically the same mentality and the thinking thought process that you have. And it all starts with, in college, winning. High school, still winning. And I say that because some parent's going to hear this right now and go, see, I told you we got to win and we're not, there's winning and then there's doing it the right way and grooming your kid to one day not only be a great player, but be a great person. So there's a lot of different things. And this show is not long enough for us to sit here and talk about.
Is it, Coach, what do you think? What are you looking for in a player?
Well, first of all, I look at kids that have a really, really hard, determined, focused work ethic. Because if I get a hard worker, you can teach him the game, right? You can teach him the game. They also have to have a good base in technical ability. Depending on the age, like if he's really young, we can teach technical stuff. But if he's preparing for college, that train might have left the station, So you want a guy that can hold the ball,
sure, good
work rate, and I swear I love to look at what does that player do when it's not going right, because more times than not, stuff's going to go wrong, and when it goes wrong, if you react poorly, that spirals. If you find a player that when you're down 2-0 is the kid that's going to try and work to make it 2-1 to tie it up 2-2 to win the game, I love players like that. The player that comes to mind, if I could clone him, would be Jack Muller. Like that kid, never out of a game, never, like his work rate would be the same if we were up 4-0 or down 4-0. He was still trying to get the next goal. But while he was on our team, we were very rarely, if ever, down 4-0.
Right. Yeah, I mean, like it's one of those things where, and you hit the nail on the head, like no comeback has ever been had by players pouting and bitching and moaning, right? So when things aren't going your way, you got to figure out what the solution is, whether it's I got to play better or I got to get him to play better or how can I get these 3 guys to play better on the field? So you're looking for that, right? And then like you said, I mean, look, there has to be a threshold of they got to at least be able to do X, Y, and Z, technically. You know what I mean? If they can't do this, then, they're off the page. But, I mean, kids just have to keep working hard and that body language when people aren't looking and what's the work rate and how's the warm-up. A lot of coaches will be like, oh, I look at them during warm-up and I can tell you right away if I want that player or not before they even see him play.
Yeah,
I'm like,
maybe.
what do you think about that, Coach?
No, I don't think warm-up. You can watch a warm-up. It's not. Yeah, I've had great players who you watch them in warm-up and go, man, what's wrong with him? And then and they may for the first 15 minutes be strolling around. And all of a sudden they get one shot, they score a goal, and everybody forgot about it. Then they get another goal and they end up with a hat trick, and everybody by the end of the game is like putting them on your shoulder. But clearly, the warm up and everything about it was nothing. So and that was my other point. Listening to you guys talk, I think as you watch guys develop, and we can all sit there and watch, and everybody's different. So. I'll use a Giuliano Salenza, who you guys know. Giuliano is a tremendous player, one of the best players that we ever had to come out of this area. And Jules would do his warm up and all that, but Jules is the one player in a game that could change a game, and just like that, and the drop of that, and not only change the game, can wind up like with a hat trick in like 20 minutes. And you might watch him in a warm up and think, is Jules ready today? Not saying that he's not always ready, but. And if you just sat there and went, well, based on what I'm looking at, he's not going to play. That would never happen. So if you had a guy like that, he's got to play.
Do you guys know the George Best story? I forget who the other player was. His first day at Man United, his very first training, they go out on the practice field, and the players are all stretching and all that. And this one player looks over, and George Best is sitting on the bench smoking a cigarette. And somebody said, hey, are you going to warm up? He said, I am. Right. and they were like, I'm sorry, it wasn't the first practice. It was their first game. And he's smoking. And they're like, are you going to warm up? He said, I am. And they were all like mad. They would go back in. The game starts. He scored 5 goals on his debut. And the next game, every player brought him a pack of cigarettes.
That's great. Hey, speaking of stories, now listen, if you don't want, if you're like, well, we're not talking about that, that's cool.
Well, I'm out.
But I hear there was a story that I heard about Giuliano. 2-mile run was not his favorite thing, is what I heard. And there's 2 parts to this story. That he had to run it multiple times because he didn't make the time. But by the time you were ready to get on with the season, like maybe it was a day or two, that the 2 miles in 12 minutes was actually more like 2 and 14 or something like that. But but in his mind, it was like 11:58, 11:59, right? That's part 1. And number 2, you got on him one time about it. And he said something to the effect of, I score goals. What do I need to run 2 miles for? When we get a field that's 2 miles long, I'll do it. Or something.
He
like
never
that.
said that.
Okay. All right. I'd heard that, and that's hilarious.
And he's listening too. He never said that. No.
Was there clock management involved?
The time wasting.
You turn this whole way around. And now I'm talking about. Now when I go home, I'm going to get a call. I didn't do the 2-mile run. Officially, he did the 2-mile run.
And that's all we need to know.
Officially, I never clocked the 2-mile run.
Okay.
I had assistant coaches do that.
That is brilliant.
And he thought he didn't do it. And quite honestly, he just
got it under.
He got it under.
That's Jules. I tell you what,
what we had said is if you didn't do the certain time,
right,
you weren't going on this trip. And it's a great trip. We were going to a game, 2 games in a tournament to Las Vegas.
Whew.
So everybody wanted to go, and obviously Jules wanted to go. So when we did the run, I wasn't there. I didn't see the clock when I got, and I'm not going to mention the assistant coaches, but when they came over and they gave me the time, they said, "Man, coach, he just barely
made it." And that's what Jules. He's got a knack for the dramatic.
And now, 30 years later, people are trying to accuse Jules of not doing it. So especially broadcasters and soccer shows. So
Thank God there's no broadcasters in this room.
and seriously, thank you for clearing that up, because that dispels all the rumors. Giuliano, not only a great player, but also potentially cross-country star.
And we'll end it here. Lawrence Taylor, one of the best players of all of football. When we talk about warming up, right? The guys, he once said, the guys asked him, it's like, "Hey, man, we heard you used to party all this night before a game on a Saturday night, a game at 1 o'clock on Sunday." And he said, "I promise I never got less than 3 hours sleep." Before game.
All right, time for 5-a-side. We're going to end it with this, our 5-a-side. What did we say last week we were going to do?
Well, last week you said lead singers of rock bands.
5-a-side. But since we have a special guest this week and a legend in Baltimore soccer, why don't we do the 5-a-side Baltimore players only? Can you guys do it on the fly?
I can do it on the fly.
Adam?
We'll try. Yeah, let's
Adam,
do it.
You go first.
All right, I'll tell you what we'll do.
In goal?
Well,
we'll do a
really
goal.
6 because okay.
Yeah.
5 field players and a keeper.
Yeah. So
one caveat though.
Yep.
Like, I'm a little younger.
yeah, we get
right?
it.
No,
We know the guys.
You guys might be bringing up dudes who
you don't
like
leave, right.
or clearly one of the, but
I'm gonna
I've
do
never
that.
seen them.
Fair
but
enough.
I've heard a lot.
Yeah.
Fair enough. We just won't really listen to you.
All
right, moving on.
I'm going to mention an over 80 team.
Well, see, here's my thing. I've kind of put it to players that I've either played with, played against.
Yeah, me too.
Watched known.
growing up.
Okay.
All right, here we
So,
go. Who wants to start?
I'll start, but I'm also
In
going to
goal.
say in goal. Well, first of all, I'm also going to say I am not going to coach this team. I'm going to hire him to coach the team. I'll be the general manager.
All right, in goal, Pete.
In goal, I'm going with Steve Powers, current athletic director at NDP, national championship goalie of the Baltimore Bays or Maryland Bays, 1991, 90.
All right, Coach Pete.
I'm going last.
Okay.
'Cause I got so many names there, and my phone's already ringing right now.
I feel like coach's best 5 is going to kill us, right?
Yeah,
But,
probably.
but I've got another Steve Zerhusen.
Great kid.
Unbelievable.
Great
Steve
call.
Zerhusen, and he's still super competitive today. I play with him a little bit, and the older guys pick up stuff, and he's still super competitive. I love that. I'm going with Zerhusen.
That's a great call, by the way. Awesome dude, too.
Yeah, great guy.
You got one player, that's it?
Just
But
goalie.
just a
Goalkeeper.
right now.
Oh, just a goalkeeper.
Just a goalkeeper.
Yeah, right now.
Look at this. Like, he's not trying to pick the best goalkeeper.
Right.
He's trying to pick the person that will get him less flack.
Yeah,
for picking
he's
the-
trying to be able to enjoy a drink at DeSantis this afternoon.
I'm going to go with John Huska,
Yeah.
all right, former
Incredible.
goalkeeper at Calvert Hall, Loyola, and NASL first string. And his backup is going to be Steve Powers,
Okay.
who played for me with the Bays, because
Yeah.
you need to have 2 goalkeepers if you have a 5-a-side team. And
That's
one
why
guy
he's my
is on the
coach.
sideline.
Again,
Okay.
trying to avoid that phone call, isn't he?
Oh.
You guys are gonna.
Then I got a training team of goalkeepers. No.
You know what? And this has to do a lot with influence on me, but mine would be Mike Rayberg.
I knew you were going to go there.
Mike Rayberg.
Mike
is
was
another
incredible, man.
Incredible. He played for me at Essex.
Amazing
First team
athlete.
All-American.
Yeah, just
tremendous player.
he's my favorite goalie that taught me
Can't
everything
stop
I
here.
knew.
There's so many. You want
Yeah.
to keep going?
Rayberg
Yeah.
taught me how to make people. He was not only great in the goal, but he could
He
play
was
the field.
unbelievable on
He
the
was
field.
so talented.
Yeah, that's my keeper. All right, defenders.
I mean, Omar is probably one of the best defenders I've ever seen. Like, as far as a true natural. Yeah, I mean, it's really
That's-
tough to beat. And I tell you another guy that I would like in
pick two.
in
Pick
prime
two.
that I would never want to try to beat because he would absolutely destroy you is Brian Lawson.
Oh, Brian Lawson was.
He will absolutely wreck you.
love playing
And
with that guy.
cleanly, but he'll wreck you. Yeah, so
All
those
right,
two guys
Pete,
defensively.
Two
So,
defenders.
I went with Omar Ballo,
Okay.
and it's weird that we picked the same guy. I got to coach him at Curly, He
Yeah.
was a freshman. He
Wow.
was a freshman, starting center back. He walked down to practice with his shirt off. They looked like he was cut like an action figure.
Right.
He looked like a grown man
Yeah.
and could jump literally over people.
hmm
And every head ball is good on the ball. Just mean, talented, awesome leader.
Yeah.
Great guy. Coaches now for Celtic. Coach, where are you going?
Jeez, this is killing me. You don't know how many calls I'm going to get.
I know you're going to get calls.
So I'm going to start with Tommy Wall, the owner of
Yeah.
Tommy's Lounge.
Yeah.
Because that's where we all hung out. And Tommy played professional,
Yeah.
and Tommy's also my brother-in-law. So
Yeah.
I know I have
Yeah.
to get home.
You got to cover a
He's-
lot of ass on this
He's
one.
in the
You're gonna see
corner
him
right
over the
now. He's in the
holidays,
corner.
yeah.
Then you got George Barry, who
Oh.
played center back, would kick the wall, strong, quick. All right, was a great defender. Purely wanted a great play for the old Baltimore Bays.
That's
Then
a
I'll go.
go ahead.
No, I'm going to keep going, man.
Go
I
ahead.
gotta have,
Yeah, Pete.
have players on the sideline. I gotta have.
Go ahead. Name a couple others, Coach.
We'll go with Louis Spath, All-American at Calvert Hall. Patterson, high school defender. Where do I stop?
Right there.
Patterson.
That's good.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, well, we could
No,
listen
no,
to these
no.
players.
Omar Ballo played for me. He was a tremendous defender, and he's on their list.
Yeah,
I'll go with Omar Ballo.
that's
this
amazing.
generation.
I got out of the game obviously earlier than you guys did, but I'll just say in my time, watched him grow into it because I played with him really young. But John Karpovich
Yeah.
was unbelievable, man, in Calvert Hall, and I think Loyola, right?
Chris
Loyola.
Reef. Chris Reef.
Yep.
Absolutely needs to be in there.
Yeah, well, he's going to
he's
come
coming-
later.
He's coming up.
He's
But
coming
but
up.
He played in the back at the end.
I know he did.
So
And I'll tell you
I'm
my
putting him
other
in
one.
the back of
I
my
didn't
team.
put him in the back.
I'm putting him in the back.
I'll tell you, my other defender would be a guy some of you might not know was Joe Scopel. He was a kid from Falston, played with the Bargers, went to UConn with Reef and them, and unbelievable defender. And just you talk about guys that would hammer guys clean and just annihilate guys in the most sportsmanlike way. You could always a clean tackle, but would sacrifice everything to win the ball. Love that guy.
So
I also had, just so you know,
Yeah.
we're adding more.
as a
Just-
sub-defender on my list, let me make sure I got the spelling right. I've also got stick shift driving, arrived to practice late, Pete Odden on my list right here.
you do?
Yeah.
Pete's a great defender, no doubt.
I would not put myself in that category, but I will give you an honest day's work.
There you go.
Very honest.
That's all we ask.
Yep.
Midfield.
A lot of
Midfield.
times we wish we didn't have to pay you at all, but whatever. All right, mids. Who you got up? Who you got in the
All
mid?
right, okay, in the middle, I'm
Yeah.
gonna go with one of two. Right, I got two. I'm gonna go with Santino Caranta, who's more of an attacking player, yeah, but got to give it to him. Game changer player for his generation. The other one, aforementioned Chris Reef.
Yep.
Chris Reef, like when he would come down to the courts, it was at Herring Run when I was a kid. It was like watching. It was like having a celebrity there, and he's probably like 4 or 5 years older than me.
I
But
think he's 3.
and just unreal. Like he would come, it would be like this stuff he would do with the ball would be stuff that made me want to work to get.
He
good on
was
the ball.
doing a Maradona before Maradona. Like I saw him do that move at Herring Run Park, full speed, just lit a guy up, went right by him, did that move, and put it in the top right. And yeah, I don't know if you've ever seen a goal scored and there's a moment of silence before the explosion because everybody went, "What? Oh my God!" Like we all exploded. It was ridiculous.
Did you ever hear Maradona's interview when he scored that goal?
No.
Where he did the Maradona
No.
and dribbled it.
Yeah.
He was like, "I got the ball. I did the Chris Reef. I
So again, older than me, but I've heard like Frank Casero swears he's the best player that's ever come out. Like
He was the best
you know,
player of our generation.
yeah, like he played at UConn, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So they would tell me, Barry, same thing, would echo the same thing about
Also on the '90s base team, by the way, they
Yeah.
won the national championship.
wow, nice. Yeah.
Back.
I wish I'd have seen him play.
You got him on your list.
I do. Yeah.
Just
Are you
out of
done?
reputation.
So we're still in the midfield.
We're on midfield.
Midfield.
Go ahead, Coach.
All right, we'll go with Sonny Askew, Santino Caranta.
That's good. Well, the rest of us will shut up now.
You want to keep going?
No.
Hold on.
If I don't, then I'm going to get 10 calls.
Do you
before
see what he's doing?
Yes.
He's looking at my paper.
I know he is.
Well, you didn't mention them, so
Well, you were mentioning one.
I have Sonny and Santino on it.
Yes, of course you do.
And others. You want more? Ian Reed.
Ian Reed. Wow.
Loyola.
Yeah.
He was.
College.
He's actually coaching girls now.
Dale
Yeah.
Roth.
Dale Roth.
Dale Roth. Oh my God.
One of the best all time. You want me to keep going?
No, let's do this. All of
Johnny
us now.
Koenig
This
won
is
2
the
national championships. You want me to keep going?
No, coach, you're making us feel stupid. Here's the thing, though. Final thing, and we'll all pick 2. We'll make it one more. Greatest goal scorers from Baltimore, Maryland, whatever, ever. Just the best finishers. Go ahead, Adam. Do you need a minute?
I mean, Shane is up there for me, man.
Yeah,
He's got to
yeah,
be.
he's
Like when we were growing up, he was an absolute monster goal
Yeah.
scorer.
Yeah.
Yeah, he played in Maryland. He's probably an all-time points leader somewhere for Maryland. But I know Jules is is way up there too. But Shane's no slouch. Shane Doherty, I'm sorry.
yeah.
Doherty.
Shane Doherty's fantastic.
Yeah.
You ever play against him indoor?
Oh yeah.
He'll play in the goal, right?
And then
He's not a
dribble
goalie, and then he still scores 4 or 5 goals a game.
Yeah.
As the goalie. All right, Ivner, who you got?
All right. I got a I got
I've never seen
listen,
you laugh
that's-
so much.
uh, well, I'm gonna say Giuliano Salenza,
Right.
Yeah.
definitely one of my tops. I'm gonna say Timmy Whitman,
Okay.
definitely in that list. I'm gonna also say Stevie Caranta,
Okay.
and I'm gonna throw Rob Elliott, with all respect to the list that's coming next. Because I'm watching them write it down, and I'm like, oh my God. Oh my goodness.
It's like George Foreman list over
Right,
there.
right.
Are you ready?
Dude, no, hold on. I want to give mine before you destroy
Yeah.
all of us. All right, I honestly will say the best goal scorers I've ever seen in my life. Oh my God, that I witnessed. Timmy Whitman just could find the net unbelievably. I'll say Timmy, and I'll also say, oh my God, it's so hard. I'm gonna put Reef as a finisher. I hate to say it. I didn't have him in my midfield, but I would put Chris Reef as an unbelievable finisher.
Oh yeah.
He was probably
He's the leading
him.
scorer.
Yeah, yeah,
He
him and
beat
Tim.
my record.
Yeah, him and Timmy Whitman. I think
Wait a minute, hold on. Did you catch that subtle?
I was trying
Beat-
not to feel like a dick.
Beat
Yes,
my record.
beat my record.
He held the record.
Where are you now on that list?
Oh,
Is it way down now?
yeah, because we played 14 games.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So when I had the record for all time one season, for one career
Yeah.
and one season, the next generation played 30 games a year.
Yeah. That
Yeah,
sucks.
but who holds it now? Would you say Rob Elliott?
The Calvert Hall record?
Reef.
Chris Reef owns
has
it.
more than
Yeah.
okay.
And Robbie was a machine.
Robbie.
He's on my top 5, no doubt. And Jules. I mean, that's my 4, probably.
Okay.
All right, Coach, go ahead and
All
take
right,
us
here we
out.
go. Here we
End
go.
of the show right
This is
now,
end of the
boys.
show. Here we go. If we're going to start.
Hold on, this might be a whole show. I'm
Wait a
looking at
minute.
this list.
Mick, if you
It's
want to
like
get a
it
pen
looks like
out,
he's putting names
Look.
down in the Old Testament.
I apologize, but
Yes,
I better add him to the list. Steve Spalt just called me.
he's literally going right now.
Right.
Going, why am I not on the
Is
list?
this live?
No,
Yeah.
no.
Oh, here we go. I got Pete C. Jr.
Wow. Yeah. That's amazing.
Held the record at Calvert Hall.
That's it.
National champion at University of Baltimore.
Still
I'm
hold
giving
the
you a
record.
resume.
Still hold the record at University of Baltimore.
Yeah, they haven't had a good goal scorer coming out there in a long time.
Yeah, they dropped everything. There we go. Pete C. the third.
PC3, fantastic choice. A ball in the air, you're not going to do better.
The late great Charlie Myers.
Oh,
Okay.
Charlie Myers.
There you go.
this just set our lists on fire.
Rob Elliott.
Yep.
Paul Skirty.
Oh,
Ooh,
Skirty.
yeah.
Jesus.
Stevie Caranta.
Yep.
Timmy Whitman.
I'm glad
Larry
that my list.
Sirach.
Oh, my God. Larry Sharrock.
One of the all-time greats. Olympic team.
He was
Fritz
on the list twice.
Gardena.
Oh my
Fritz
God,
Gardena.
Scarduna.
Pete Notaro.
This all right. Can I play the outro
Levy
song?
Wapu.
Oh my.
Levy Wapu.
Levy, yeah.
Unbelievable.
Jason Dieter.
Wow.
He would have had an extra goal his
Rob
senior year, but I
Elliott.
was late
You
for
were late.
practice.
Rob Elliott.
Wow.
And I'm going to keep on talking as you take the show out. But
Keep going. I'll
I
just
got-
run
I got
credits.
15 more people who don't need to call me tonight. When
You
the
know-
show come out? Because I'm going out of town.
It'll be out by Monday.
All right.
Yeah, it might be today, but Monday definitely.
Well, then I'm definitely
I
leaving
want to say
Tuesday.
something to you guys. It's been a great show. Mr. Caringi, thank you. You should come back more. You're awesome and a legend in this town. But I would like to end the show for you guys and just say we really did grow up in a town for soccer that is truly, if we were in England and this was Baltimore was in England, we'd be a really sincerely considered great history.
Oh, for sure.
We never got to play against the people that were famous, really. Some of those guys did, but some of them went to the NASL in the 70s and stuff. And like Steve Syracuse, who am I thinking? Sonny Askew. Come on, that guy could have played anywhere in the world, I truly believe. And we live right here. We played at Patterson Park. It's the coolest thing in the world when you think about it.
What we got to do next time you come on, we have to talk about Highlandtown. Just Highlandtown.
Dude, it's unreal.
Is freaking amazing with the number of players that have come out of there.
You could easily make the argument that 30 to 40 guys would have been world-class players had they had the true opportunity, training, facilities, coaching, what's that word when you're exposure
right.
to the world. It truly was.
Yeah.
You can correct me on this, but I think there's from one street 3 guys that played on the U.S. national team off of one street in Highlandtown.
That's true. That's unbelievable.
That's wild.
That's
What? Think of Highlandtown's what? 3 miles?
You got Paul Skirty.
Skirty.
Claremont Street. Santino Caranta.
All the Carantas who were great.
Larry Sirach.
Jesus God. That's like saying Scholes, Beckham, and Nicky Butt all grew up.
Ernie Cox
Yeah.
was a first-team All-American on
Yep.
Claremont Street.
That's incredible. Yeah,
Crazy.
that's a
a
great
whole show.
That's an awesome idea.
I love it.
All right,
Thank you
guys,
so
great
much,
show.
Coach. Yeah. Thank you so much for coming in.
Well,
Yeah,
thank
Coach.
you, and hopefully I'll be back. But if I'm not, my phone will be ringing off the hook, and I will call. What's the guy that was here last time I was here? That guy, Mickey.
Mickey. Call Mickey and
Call that
express any
jackass.
problems.
Thanks, guys.
Guys, we are off the crossbar.
Ring.
What's up, everybody? We are back. We are off the crossbar. I am the Coach Pete Odner, and I'm here with my main man,